handling in Mule 4. So we will Abhishek will go through error handling, and so yeah. Before that, we will I'll read out some safe harbor statement. So both the speaker, my screen is visible, right? Proper screen, proper slide, right?
Yeah, Shubham, it's visible.
Yeah.
You
All
can
right.
go ahead.
Yep. Okay, so both the speaker and the host are organizing this meetup in individual capacity only. We are not representing our companies here. This presentation is strictly for learning purpose, and organizer do not hold any responsibility that same solution will work for your business requirements. This presentation is not meant for any promotional activities. Okay, so recording of this meetup will be uploaded to events page and to YouTube within 24 hours. You can check to the same event page where you registered. You will find the recording and the presentation. Okay, and questions you can ask at any time in the chat and give us feedback. So we do look at that. And so today we have two organizers for this meetup. So myself, I'll introduce myself. I'm Shubham Chaurasia, working as a professional integration developer in Millennium. So I'm MuleSoft certified developer and architect, and MuleSoft mentor and leader. So over to you, Giri.
Yep. Thank you, Shubham. Thanks everyone for joining us today. So we have Abhishek here to present error handling in Mule 4. So myself, I'm Giridhar. I'm working as a senior architect in Hashdin. I take care of MuleSoft accounts. I'm certified developer and architect both MuleSoft and AWS. That's pretty much about me. So Abhishek, it's up. It's to you.
Is I'll share my screen.
You can share your screen, Abhishek.
Yep, it's visible. Abhishek, continue.
So, introduction about me. I am a certified MuleSoft developer with over 1.5 years of experience in MuleSoft. Currently, I am working as a software engineer at Hashdin by Deloitte. So, today's agenda will discuss about what are errors and the error types in MuleSoft. Then something about components of a Mule error, and how we can create custom errors in MuleSoft. Then the two different types of on-error components, and how we can handle errors at different levels in MuleSoft, and what actions you can perform with different errors. So the demo will go side by side, followed by a trivia quiz and wrap up. So, what are errors? In MuleSoft, errors are a way of communicating to the stakeholder that something has went wrong and providing some meaningful information regarding that error and how that can be tackled. So, uh, there can be different corrective actions that can be taken up based on the error that has been thrown. So, in MuleSoft, there are broadly two types of errors. One is system error, uh, which that is an exception that occurs at system level and there is no mule event involved. So uh, this error may occur during the application startup, or maybe when a connection to an external system fails. So not much can be done about system errors. The other type of error that is present in mule errors is messaging errors. So a messaging error is a part of mule event, and which it occurs during the flow of a mule application, maybe due to a failure of a component or due to failure of a transformation script or anything. So messaging errors are the ones that can be taken care of using error handling. So these are the components of a mule message error. There are six components: description, which gives a overview about the error or the problem that has occurred; a detailed description, which can be similar to the description or may have some extensive information about the error. Then the type of error. So it has the namespace and identifier of the error, then the cause, the message, and the child errors. Child errors is generally connected with scatter gather, which provides the aggregated route error, in which route the error has occurred. So The errors in MuleSoft have a hierarchy system. So broadly, these are classified under two umbrellas: any and critical. Critical errors occur due to maybe overloading of the primary memory or a fatal error. These errors cannot be handled. And on the other hand, are the errors under any namespace. So these errors can be handled, logged, or maybe ignored based on your requirement. So Mule errors have a namespace and identifier that create a hierarchy system and enables the developers to distinguish among the errors. So like for example, we might have a connector for HTTP requester as well as a file connector, and they both can throw not found error. So this can be distinguished based on the namespace, that is HTTP not found or file not found error. So each error type has a parent which helps us to route the errors in a general or more specific way. For example, that like we might want to handle a specific error in a specific way, and then we might want to broadly handle some errors. For example, I'll show this. Like we have a, like I have put a global error handler over here. So firstly, I want to under this on error continue, I want to handle the expression type error, and after that I want to handle all the errors that come under any category. So this can be specified as a route specific error. Then I am coming to a general category. So coming to custom errors, uh, this is a way to define namespaces and identifiers with our own name for our convenience. So for custom errors are used to make error messages more informative. Uh, we can map the existing errors that are defined under in MuleSoft to our to custom namespace and identifiers. So, for example, mapping an error occurring in customer app can be mapped under customer namespace, and an order app can error occurring in an order app can be mapped under order namespace. So, a little demo about this. So, for example, and in request, I have put a requester over here, and I want to map the HTTP connectivity error. I'll delete this. So from here, I can map any error. Suppose this HTTP connectivity itself, and this is a customer application. So I'll put a namespace over here and an identifier. Maybe server is down. So the mapping has come over here. Yes. So now the requester component has failed and it has given the HTTP connectivity error. But as I have mapped that error with my custom namespace, so I'll be getting customer server is down. So we can check the log as well. See, the map namespace is HTTP connectivity and the target namespace is customer error server is down. So handling errors. So mainly we can handle messaging errors in 4 ways. Either using the default error handler. So a default error handler is already implemented in our Mule applications, and we do not need to do anything in that. Whenever an error arises in a flow, the execution stops, and it keeps on throwing the error to the parent flow until it is returned to the client. So as we just saw that the error was thrown by the requester, and it was the flow that was executed by the user, the error message got logged in the console. So in the more broader sense, we can handle the global level. We can handle errors in a global level. Uh, a flow can be an error handler can be kept, and a flow can be defined. Uh, and other flows can refer to that global error handler. Uh, this helps us to make a reusable configuration and help us tackle the errors in a broader sense. For example, if we want our application to notify the stakeholders whenever an error scenario arises in the application, then a global error handler can be designed, and the flow can run whenever a error occurs in any of the flow in the application. Then flow level error handling. This can be done when we want to tackle specific errors occurring on the flow level and that are limited to a particular flow itself. So on-error components may be on-error continue or on-error propagate, or multiple or error components can be kept in a flow in that error handling section, and the flow level error handling can be done. Other error handling technique can be component level error handling. The components that may fail in the flow execution can be enclosed in a try block, and then the errors can be handled in the error handling section of the try block. Generally, this is done in the flow when we are connecting to any external system, or maybe we are inside a subflow where, because subflow does not have its own error handler. So I'll show a demo over this. So first showing the global error handler. So this is a error handler that I have defined. So I have just pulled the error handler block from here and put one error on error continue, and then one on error propagate inside it. So after we define error handler like this, um, if we do not want this to be a global error handler, then we'll need to specifically refer this from every error handler use like this. Otherwise, if we want to make this error handler as a global error handler, we can just go to global elements and define this as a configuration property and make this as our default error handler. So like in this case, I do not have any error handler at the flow level. So as soon as the error will be thrown, it will be redirected to the global error handler that has been present here. Yes. See, so now the error got redirected to the global error handler. So first it checked in the on-error continue, but the type is not matching with the expression. So it moved below to on-error continue, on-error-propagate, and now it has been as it is successfully handled. It will be returned to the user. In a case where this global error handler would not have been able to handle this error, it would then be handled by the default error handler. So like for this scenario, it has been handled at global level and returned. So suppose if I go and comment out this. So now first it went to global error handler, but since the error is not handled over here, it got handled by the default error handler. See, it directly got logged over here. We can see the error message over here as well with the status code 500. The status code is coming from the listener. So whenever a response error arises, we can configure our error response here with the body header status code. Um, Now flow level error handling. So since I had put a error handler over in my flow itself, so first it will try to handle it over here. So since it got handled, uh, it's an on error continue. It will I have put a error dot description in the set payload, and the error message will be sent to the user with 200 responses. So this is one way that, as discussed earlier, we can refer to the global error handler at the flow level, and the error arising in the flow will directly be redirected to the global error handler. So yeah, component level error handling. So this is a flow where I have put a flow reference, and subflow is designed over here. It has a request component enclosed in a try block. So since the subflow does not have its own error handler, suppose if there was no try block over here, whenever the request will throw an error, it will go to its parent flow. But since it's enclosed in the try block, it enables me to handle the error in the error handling block here itself. So now that the error has occurred, it will check which error handler on error component can handle this error. So now on error continue matches with the error type. The types I have defined over here with the type of error that has occurred. So on error continue will handle the error, and now it after handling the error, it moves back to its parent flow, and it gets redirected to the user. So on error components. So on-error components differ in the way that they affect their owner or the flow that where it has been added. Suppose in the flow or the try block. So there are two on-error components in MuleSoft. One is on-error-propagate. Uh, on-error-propagate stops the execution of the flow and throws the error to the. So suppose that flow has on-error propagate, it will handle the error and throw the error to its parent flow. For example, in the try scope, uh, the execution stops at the third component. So it will redirect to the on-error propagate. The error will be handled over here, and then it will be thrown to the parent flow. So parent flow of try scope can be considered this complete flow. So the execution stopped at 3, got handled at 4 and 5, and again got thrown at flow to this flow. So the execution for the this parent flow also gets stopped, and it suppose it gets handled here or maybe at the global level, however it is configured. So then the other on-error component is on-error continue. It the flow where the on-error continue is configured stops its execution, but it acts as if the execution for the parent flow has for the in when it gets thrown to the parent flow, it acts as if the execution was complete for the child flow. So like this error on error continue is configured under try block. So when the error will be thrown in the requester, so if there was any other component present after requester, it would not have its execution. The error will be handled on error continue, and then it will destroy the error block and move back to the parent flow that is the demo flow 2. So demo flow 2 would consider as if the execution has been completed, and it will move ahead uh, as if as a success response. Show this in the demo. So for now, it got handled by on error continue. So after getting handled, as you can see, for now the error block is present in the mule event. So after it will get handled, the error block will get destroyed. So see, there is no error block present over here, and the execution moved ahead for the parent flow. So since I have put the set payload and I have so, so here I have in the set payload, I have put error.description. So description will get set in the payload and return to the user. So error description along with the 200 status code. So let's see for a scenario where it gets handled with on-error-propagate. So now this time it is being handled by the on-error-propagate. So the error block is present. So after it gets handled, it again got thrown to the try block, uh, which is the subflow. Now it will get thrown to its parent flow. So as you can see, this time the error block did not get destroyed and the execution got stopped for the parent flow, that is the demo flow 2 as well. See, this time the status code is also 500 because for listener, this was a error scenario, not a success scenario. So both the on-error components, on-error continue as well as on-error propagate have 4 fields: type, when, enable, notification, log exception. So the type is used to define which type of mule errors we are configuring this on-error component to handle. When is used to define a type of to put a data view expression for any transformation to trigger the on-error scenario for a particular case. For example, as you can see over here, I have a global variable env, and I am putting its value as I want to trigger this on-error continue if its value is local. And there might be a scenario I have put a on-error propagate for a scenario where environment value is dev. So enable notification and log exception by default are true, and enable notification is used to fire notification whenever an error occurs, and log exceptions are used to log the exceptions and errors in the console, and in Cloud the exception gets logged in the logs. For example, like over here, I have a global property env. For now, the value is dev. So the when with under the when that if the environment value is dev, this on error propagate should be triggered, and when the value of environment is local, on error see. So since both on error continue and on error propagate were handling the type custom error server down, but since the value of env got since the when clause got true over here, it's only so it got handled on error propagate. I'll change the value to local. This time it should be handled by on error continue. See, so this time the error message came to on error continue. It got handled over here. So that's it. Any questions?
Hey Abhishek, we have one question from Ravindra. Like, if both are not given, will it be handled by global error handler?
Both.
Ravindra, you can, yeah. So Ravindra, can you like enable your mic is enabled? You can ask.
Hi, good morning all. So I just have one doubt. You're giving if property environment equal to local and dev. If both the things are not available, then how will it be handled? It will go directly to the global error handler. Just I want that thing.
Okay, so if the when clause is completely empty, right?
Empty means like you are given local and dev because those two are mentioned in our resource files. If both the things
Mm-hmm.
are there, then it will go to that and it will refer. But if both, in that case, if I are given like prod or something UID,
Mm-hmm.
then how will it handle? Like it will directly go to the global error handler, or in the flow level only we can do that.
Actually, then in that case, since it did not get handled over here, it will
Yeah.
get thrown to the subflow. Then the subflow will throw back the error to this to its parent flow demo flow. So then it will get try. It will be tried over here if it gets handled over here. So since you can see, I have not configured here also. Then it will directly go to the default error handler, not even to the global error handler.
Here we have mentioned on-error-propogate, right? So first it will go to here only, right?
Yeah, in the demo flow too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will try to get handled over here, but the type I have not configured. So it will not get handled here also. Then it will directly go to default error handler.
Okay.
I'll show this also. No issue. So now it will. It did not get handled here. It got thrown to try block. Now it will get thrown to the subflow and then to parent flow. Now it will not get handled here also. See, so it did not go to the global error handler. It directly got handled by the default error handler. And we can see the logs directly here. I hope this makes clear.
This customer error server down where you have mentioned in the requester, is it in the listener?
No, it's the error mapping here. It has
Yeah.
been mapped.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so do we have any